morning, guys. Hey, this morning I'm going to show you how I make my wheatgrass, how easy it really is. Back in 2005, when I found out that I had brain cancer, there was a guy that I did a lot of business with, who used to be a doctor in the military, told me about all the benefits that wheatgrass has. And so I went to a place called Booster Juice, now called Tree City, here in Boise, Idaho, and they showed me how to make it. So anyway, it's a very simple process. What you need is you need to have some potting soil, natural potting soil. This is what I use. Want to have some plastic trays just like this. It's about 10 by about 10 by 25, and you can get these at nurseries or health food stores. And next thing you're going to want to have is some wheat berries, which you can get at health food stores as well. A mason jar with a lid that drains. If you don't have that, I guess you can just find something else to make it work. And I think that's about it. So basically what I do is, first of all, I take 1 cup of these wheat berries and I throw it in a mason jar, and I fill up that mason jar with water. I let it soak for about 12 hours. Once that's done, you go ahead and you drain it out, and then you let it sit on its side for another 12 to 24 hours in a dark area. Once that happens, those wheat berries are going to begin to have little sprouts on the end of them. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take that potting soil and you're going to go ahead and line one of these plastic trays up about 1 inch thick. And then you're going to take those wheat berries and sprinkle them over until they're laid out evenly. And this is what it's going to look like at that point. Just like that. Once that's done, you're going to go ahead and you're going to take another tray and place it on top of that. And then each day, I like to do it in the morning, you're going to go ahead and lightly sprinkle it. And within 2 to 3 days, you're going to take that lid off. And it's going to look like this. It's going to be yellow. And then what you're going to want to do is go ahead and place that in indirect sunlight, not directly into it. And I have a great place here on the side. We have a sliding glass window over here to my right. And by the end of that day, probably not even by the end of the day, probably in about 3 hours, it's going to be green just like this. Now this is after about 10 days. In the wintertime it goes a little bit, it's a little slower. In the summertime it goes a little bit faster. So I say anywhere from 7 to 10 days, you're going to have a nice wheatgrass there. And I'm going to go ahead and juice them up today. But anyway, I got into this, like I said, I got into this when I found out that I had brain cancer. It was there at Booster Juice, now Tree City, that there's a wheatgrass book by Ann Wigmore, and that's where I learned about the great benefits that wheatgrass has. And so if you want to learn more about wheatgrass and all the benefits that it has, check up above underneath the articles tab and check out benefits of wheatgrass. It's awesome stuff. You might not want to try it straight, a lot straight, maybe 2 ounces at the most. You can add it to juices and things like that. There's other things that you can do. I'm not going to talk about that here. But anyway, it's an amazing grass. It does some amazing things, and I've had some amazing results with it. So that's why I continue to do it today after 8 years. So anyway, it's very easy to do. If you have any questions, hit the contact button up above. And until next time, you guys have a great day. See you then. Bye-bye.